wonderfully beautiful place with such iconic sights to see as the Golden Gate Bridge. And just a short drive from the Golden Gate Bridge is wine country. Just outside of Sonoma, California sits Sonoma Raceway. It sits in the Sonoma Valley, which lies in competition with the Napa Valley for bragging rights on who makes the best wine in the country. And those two valleys are lined up in parallel, much like the lanes of the drag strip here at Sonoma Raceway, which plays host today to the Gettrex Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout. 8 riders, including 2 of the best in the world in Chase Van Zandt and Gage Herrera, will engage themselves in a call-out style format for the first round of eliminations. And this is what makes the Gettrex Pro Stock All-Star Callout race so unique. The top 8 riders over the course of the last season earn their spots. The number 1 seed gets their first choice, so on and so forth. But the big news here, they're not racing for points, they're racing for money. Over $61,000 in total prize money, and the winner will receive the lion's share of that at some $25,000. And so we continue on here at Sonoma Raceway with this call-out process. We're going to kick it off, Amanda. This is the most contentious class of the NHRA right now. There are 8 people back there, and 7 of them don't like each other.
One of the things that I love about Pro Stock Motorcycle, being able to have the vantage point at the top end, is when they pull off the track, these guys are bunched up together. They all kind of park right next to each other, and there is the tension that you can feel all the time. You can sense the rivalries. You can sense the hate. So when we see the antics backstage, Bruno, I'm sure you're already in the thick of it.
You know, Amanda, it's funny. We've done a bunch of call-out shows over the years, and I can tell you it's honestly awkward and uncomfortable standing back here because there's like the fake smile, like, yeah, these people really honestly don't like each other for the general feeling. You know, what it is, I think they're just uber competitors, you know, but none of them are afraid to voice their opinions. A lot of them have strong opinions out here. The big guess is, who's Gage Herrera going to call out? Some might say it's going to be Matt Smith and kind of buck the trend and go for his ultimate rival. We'll have to find out. You know, Steve Johnson's prepared. He's even got a mop back here, so you never know what's going to happen back here with Pro Stock Motorcycle. This is going to be fun to watch this all unfold.
Indeed it will, Bruno, and as we all know, the man who will have the first pick in this contest was just knocked off his perch as the winningest consecutive racer in the history of the National Hot Rod Association, driver of the Revzilla, Vance & Hines, Suzuki Hayabusa. Please welcome Gage Herrera. Gage, you know, you get to take your frustrations out on somebody here. I mean, you said it was a bit of a weight off your shoulders last weekend when the streak stopped, but you get to start a new one now.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be exciting. Last year was a lot of fun. We were able to strategize it how we wanted, and it worked out in our favor. So this one's just going to be that much better.
So it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of debate on the internet. Should he just go and pick Matt straight up, get the biggest guy in the corner of the bar and take a swing at him, or do you get more strategic? And this is where you have to make that decision. So who are you going to call out for round 1 eliminations?
You know, there's been a lot of talk on social media, this and that, about the class not doing good, and it's all came down to one person causing it. So I think we do need to, if you know who you are, go ahead and come out, and we're going to settle on the track tomorrow.
I believe that's Matt Smith. He just called out Matt Smith in round 1. The 2 heavyweights of the category, 1 and 2 in the points. Let's welcome Matt Smith, rider of the Denso Buell, to the stage.
Well, Matt, I know you wanted to have a shot at Steve Johnson, but Gage Herrera just called you out and said that you've been the one causing this ruckus on the internet. Would you agree?
You know what? I might have a shot at calling Steve Johnson out second round because I'm going to tattoo his butt and put him on the trailer, and I'm going to make Vance & Hines feel like they made the wrong pick here.
What do you make of the competition we're seeing in Pro Stock Motorcycle?
It's good. You know, this is definitely going to, you know, they're going to leave the sandbags at the truck on this matchup. I can tell you that. And if they don't, he's going to be going back wishing that they left the sandbags out.
A battle of the ages, Brian.
Hey, I'll be sure to bring one of the sandbags to dry up all those tears, all right?
And there you have it. Your round 1 matchup, and that is the one that everybody has wanted to see. So now a man who was going to be making the 3rd pick is actually going to be able to make the 2nd pick. It is going to be Hector Arana Jr. coming out here, the rider of the Gettrex Buell.
Top that, Hector.
Yeah, so Hector, come on and hang with me for a second. So you got a tough act to follow there. Those 2 guys are taking jabs at each other. Now, you mentioned on our media availability last year you picked Steve Johnson because you thought the guy was annoying. Has there been a change in strategy?
I mean, you know, I thought that maybe there was going to be a change in strategy, but Gage Herrera helped me out with that. So I think Steve Johnson should bring his mop up so he can mop his tears up.
Let's bring it up here. We're going to run it back just like we did in 2023. Steve Johnson, the Suzuki rider. His 500th race, folks, in Pro Stock Motorcycle will begin with a call-out.
I was going to say, Steve, turn around real quick. He's wearing his resume today right here on stage. Why can that put you over the hump of Hector Rana Jr.?
Sometimes more is better. I think in the National Hot Rod Association, it's all about right now. So I knew he was going to pick me, but it was going to be so much fun if Matt would have picked me. He's got, well, I'll go on to that later, but I think with Hector, he has the corporate sponsor. I pointed out to everybody on the planet, including y'all, that you can watch. He's the only one that's got his shirt tucked in, so he's a corporate snob.
What are your response to "Are you annoying"?
Wait, I didn't hear. I was still busy thinking about what I was saying. What did you say again?
I think you just answered it, Steve.
No, what did I say? What did I say?
Are you annoying?
Oh, am I annoying? Y'all, I can be annoying to Matt Smith, and I get it. I'm really just trying to have some fun. We want to love on y'all. We want you excited. How many of y'all have motorcycles? And how many of you want to buy a motorcycle? Oh, the crowd goes wild. All right. How many of you like watching the motorcycles fighting up here on the stage? All right.
See what I'm talking about, guys? He's still talking.
We hope to put a good show. We hope to put a great show on. Mr. Corporate America here and the Getrix thing. Just because they have the sponsorship doesn't mean they get to win the race.
Well, on a real...
There you have it.
And just for credit, congratulations on 500 races, Steve.
Thank you.
There is your matchup here for the first round. Hector Rana Jr. and Steve Johnson. That's going to move us into the back half of the field here. So a rider that, again, was kind of shifted up in the order because of these picks being made. She is riding the Scrappers Matt Smith Racing V-Twin motorcycle. Her dad, Mike Salinas, is back at the racetrack for the first time in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gianna Evaristo. Gianna, you're coming off, performance-wise, one of the best races of your career. The 203-mile-an-hour speed, the low ET that you laid down for yourself. You're coming in here pretty hot.
I am, yes. You know, we've been working really hard on, not just the performance, but, me as a rider, and we're kind of starting to see all the pieces kind of come together. So it's been really exciting, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going.
So I'm not a big mathematician, but I know who's backstage right now. Guy named John Hall, he's on your team. A woman named Angie Smith, she's on your team. And the guy that won last week's race, who is not on your team. So who will be your matchup in round one?
We talked about it. We really did some strategy going back and forth and tried to look at how everything would play out. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that at least one of our bikes go to the next round. So for that, I'm going to be calling out John Hall.
John Hall, all right. The man from Connecticut all the way out here on the West Coast wearing his Denso colors as he comes onto the stage. John Hall, he's as shocked as anybody.
You didn't know?
I had no idea. No idea at all. I didn't know we had a strategy.
Well, you learned it on the fly there. And, John, you know what the bike is capable of, being that you guys are teammate. Can that be any of advantage to you?
I don't know. I'm just going to go out there and do what I do and hope I get a good result. John is a tough competitor. Put a good show on for the fans.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there is the first round matchup. Gianna and John. And that leaves us basically an arranged marriage. We have two riders back there behind the stage. We're going to bring them out at the same time. Angie Smith and last week's winner, Chase Van Zandt, will battle in the first round. Come on out. Chase, Angie, come on over. So look, last year, Matt Smith Racing, the entire team got put on the back foot. The nefarious Vance and Hines guys stuck you and Matt together. This seems to have actually worked out in your team's favor. You've been able to spread the bikes out for the most part.
We have, but he won last weekend. But anyway, Chase, I can't talk any smack to him because he's such a great competitor and he does a good job. And he is Tom Brady because we always refer to him as the Tom Brady of Pro Stock Motorcycle. So, all in all, I think we're going to do our best to have a couple bikes in second round. I have a fast bike. Chase has a fast bike. So, you know what? Hopefully, I'll turn the wind light on, and I know he hopes the same for himself. So we'll just go out there. It's the Denso race. We're in beautiful Sonoma country. So hopefully a Denso bike can go second round.
And it was the Tom Brady of Pro Stock Motorcycle that picked up a very memorable first win back at Seattle. Could you be in a better position right now, Chase?
I don't think so. We let our results speak on the track last week. we were pretty quiet up until that point, and it was a really good feeling to have people come up and say, you know, you've quietly put your head down and got it done. And so I take a lot of pride, and that's what our team's done. But nothing against Lisa at Denzo or the MSR camp, but I would love nothing more than to put them on the trailer early.
Now let's welcome all 8 of our competitors onto the stage here. Let's bring everybody back up for a group photo with the trophy. And again, this is a race that pays out over $61,000 in total purse. $25,000 will go to the rider that wins the final round of this 3-race contest. As our riders have stepped up to the stage, one more round of applause, folks. This, your field for the Gettrex Pro Stock All-Star Callout here in Sonoma.
Smile, you found it. The feeling of finding psoriasis can't filter out the real you. So go ahead, live unfiltered with the one and only Sotyktu, a once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis and the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your close-up, or finding you don't have to hide your skin, just your background. Once daily Sotyktu was proven better, getting more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. There's only one Sotyktu, so ask for it by name. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Henderson and the Orioles battle Ramirez and the Guardians, or Rays Astros. It's baseball night in America on Fox.
Papa is like, we read your article. You really hate boneless wings, huh? I'm like, yeah, it's my identity. And they're like, well, try ours. Oh. Well, this changes everything.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. You're unbelievable.
Applebee's mozzarella sticks are just 50 cents for a limited time.
You're so unbelievable.
Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
With Mission Foods. It's a green light for the NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series. Packed with fast action and tasty products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
The Gettrex NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout is sponsored by Gettrex, the fastest name in credit card processing, and by Denzo. The best part is peace of mind.
Gage Herrera made a bold move yesterday in calling out Matt Smith for the opening round of eliminations. Gage, you guys have struggled in qualifying, haven't made a representative run. Are you regretting that decision at this point?
No, I'm not regretting it. You know, it's I got a fast motorcycle, and the day Matt has a fast motorcycle. It's gonna be an awesome first round. You know, figured, you know, my whole strategy on calling him out was, you know, was let the two best basically go at it first round. So yeah, we didn't do so good in qualifying so far, but we're gonna turn around here today. I got a lot of confidence in my team. Andrew's been up all night, you know, on the computer going over stuff, and we're gonna go out there and lay one down.
So for Gage Herrera, he will face off against Matt Smith. Matt's wife, Angie Smith, will take on Seattle winner Chase Van Zandt. Gianna Evaristo at top speed in Seattle will take on her teammate John Hall. And Hector Rana Jr. will take on a guy he called annoying in Steve Johnson. Let's take a look here at the Gage Herrera Matt Smith matchup and all that comes with it. 6-1 career record for Gage Herrera over Matt Smith. It is something that nobody in this sport has ever done to Matt in this volume and in this period of time. 17 career event victories in basically 2 seasons for Herrera. 38 wins and 5 championships for Matt Smith and Pro Stock Motorcycle. So for Matt Smith, he is on a V-twin Buell sponsored by Denzo. We call this the Ironman bike for obvious reasons, and Matt Smith is never one to hide his emotions, an intense competitor here in Pro Stock Bike.
Hi, I'm Matt Smith, 6-time world champion.
Matt Smith rockets to the #1 spot
I'd like to call out probably one of the Vance Hines bikes first round, and we're going to try to eliminate them first round and get them knocked out of the way.
Matt Smith runs low ET, runs top speed, and goes to the top.
My driving style is tricky.
He faces the greatest threat he has seen in his career as a man who has come into this sport over the course of the last 2 seasons in ways nobody could have seen coming. His name's Gage Herrera.
Hello, my name is Gage Herrera, NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle Rider.
Gage Herrera has officially rewritten the history books of NHRA drag racing.
My driving style, in one word, smooth.
His marauding of this class, it is inexorable. It is ceaseless.
I consider myself as a villain in the class. I feel like a lot of people are always gunning for me, and I'm always basically there to take them out.
And Tony, this is a matchup we have wanted to see. We wait every week for this matchup to play out. We normally do not expect to see it in the first round, but it is going to be here in this all-star call-up because Gage Herrera stepped up and he wants to slay the beast right now in Matt Smith.
Well, I don't think he's second-guessing that matchup. I mean, they have 2 unsuccessful runs based on the qualifying to this point. Friday, both runs at this Vance and Hines. It's very rare that 2 consecutive runs, they do not make it down the track. The second run, of course, the bike wouldn't start. That's an easy fix. I'm sure they went through all the electronics, and on this day, Matt Smith is coming into this matchup with the advantage.
Bruno, you have more on Gage.
Talked to Andrew Hines. He told me that the problem was he missed a parameter in the settings for the ECU. Simply a mistake when he tried making a change. Put it back to the bike how he had it in Dallas, and he said if it leaves, it'll go 65.
Matt Smith has used all manner of techniques, all manner of tricks to try to throw Gage Herrera off the staging part of this process. But it looks as though they're both going to go in there, albeit slowly, here in round number 1. A huge matchup, not just for the money, but for the bragging rights and the ego of these 2 racers. It is Gage Herrera with 2 100ths advantage. It is Gage Herrera, that high-winding Hayabusa, trying to stop the V-twin, and he can't do it. It is Matt Smith, 666.2 at 203.68 miles an hour. Herrera runs a 668 at 202.5.
That is a big-time run for Matt Smith, and that's what you call clutch. Now, he gave up some performance off of the starting line. Had Gage Herrera been a little bit quicker off the launch, he could have potentially beat Matt Smith on a hole shot. They were neck and neck by the 330-foot mark, but it was that V-twin horsepower that allowed Matt Smith to ride around Gage Herrera.
9 1/1000ths of a second at the finish line stripe as we look to reaction times favoring Herrera, giving himself nearly 200ths of a second of performance in the bank. But by the time they got to the finish line, that rumbling, grumbling V-twin engine of Matt Smith, the front wheel looks like it's actually off the ground going across the quarter-mile finish line. Wow. Of course, we look at Matt Smith's reaction here. This was a long time coming for this guy.
It's a clutch play. I mean, he pulled it out based on performance. He was good enough off the starting line, and this is the matchup, and this is the price that Matt Smith has made Gage Herrera pay for picking them in this call-out.
And remember, this is the Denso Sonoma Nationals. He is riding the Denso motorcycle. He is performing in front of not just his teammates and his wife, he is performing in front of executives from the Denso category. Speaking of Matt's wife, Angie, as talented a rider as she is, she rolls into the water box. This, the Denso pink bike, and she has her eyes set on a final round matchup.
Hi, I'm Angie Smith, rider of the Denso Auto Parts Pro Stock Motorcycle.
Angie Smith is going to the final round on the mountain. The Smith family continues to be gold standard up here.
I think our biggest competition is the Revzilla Vance and Hines team. We're out to get them and beat them.
And at the finish line stripe, it's Angie Smith.
I think my most inspirational quote that really drives me is never give up on your dreams.
And Chase Van Zandt will be racing Angie Smith. Van Zandt finally broke through the 2023 NHRA Rookie of the Year, won Seattle just 1 week ago, and he is ready to do it again here.
Okay. I'm Chase Van Zandt, rider of the Trick Tools Wide Alligator Racing Suzuki.
Chase Van Zandt goes 200. miles per hour.
For us, it's, one, get a good qualifying number, but also just to be better in every area than the guy in the lane next to you.
Chase Van Sant wins his first national event in pro stock motorcycles.
I think my favorite inspirational quote is pretty simple, but it's people tend to become what they think of themselves. I think if you think of yourself as a winner and a champion, I think it'll kind of be bred into existence.
So once again, it will be the 4-cylinder Suzuki engine taking on the larger displacement, lower revving V-twin. Angie Smith, 2 head-to-head battles, 2-2 career-wise with Chase Van Sant. 3 event victories to the 1. Trick Tools, the company. And, Chase Van Sant, a very high-level athlete, came out of Iowa, Tony. This guy is in high school, was a state champion long jumper, and he has certainly not lost his touch.
It always comes in handy. Look, you have to be physically fit to ride one of these machines. He is taller, and he still has to tuck. They shift their backsides right as they launch. They instantly shift up to allow themselves to lay down and tuck themselves behind that air shield. But the mentality, you come here into this competition with a competitor's mentality that never hurts.
Angie Smith, also a physical specimen. She suffered a big crash at the end of last year, but her dedication to her health got her recovered quickly. Chase Van Sant, snappy off the starting line, leading by 100th of a second off the line, but outrun at the stripe. 672.2 at 202 miles an hour. Angie and Matt Smith have both advanced into round 2.
Well, we're going to get another look at this, and it was Chase Van Sant off of the starting line first, and he made it much closer, about 100th of a second advantage off the line, and he was 400ths of a second quicker by 330 feet. But that V-twin, it just has so much torque, so much middle of the track and top end that she was able to chase him down with that early lead.
We watch Angie's form as she comes off the starting line, tucking behind the windscreen at the 8th mile, and then making that sprint of over 202 miles an hour to the finish line stripe. The performance of the motorcycles today continues to get better. Amanda Busick is with a first-round winner and a new track record holder, Matt Smith.
Matt Smith came running into this interview with this fist pumping, and Matt, you said that was a win in of itself. Could the tide be turning?
I don't know if the tide's turning, but we definitely have the better bike right this instant. They didn't make a run down the track yesterday, so they had no data. So all in all, that was a heck of a run for their first pass. But for us, this Denso, Outlaw Beer, Greg Butcher Trucking, Smith Trucking, IGTG, everybody helps us. Lisa's in the house, Dan's in the house. All the Denso reps are here. We got that round win. Thank you.
And that is the smile of a guy who has seemingly had a block of granite removed from his shoulders. And here is Angie Smith, the Denso on board, catching her fist bump in the shutdown area here at Sonoma Raceway. When we come back, round 1 of the Gettrex All-Star Callout continues here at Sonoma. In racing and in business, teamwork and winning go hand in hand. Because we believe that when your business thrives, we've done our jobs. As the fastest name in credit card processing, we help businesses like yours leave their competition in the dust. And with our industry-leading speed and efficiency, you'll always finish first. Join the winning team with Gettrex. Gettrex, the official credit card processor of the NHRA. Learn more at Gettrex.com/win.
Denso has an oxygen sensor for over 99% of all vehicles on the road. And everyone is built to the highest original equipment standards. That's why the top 20 automakers choose Denso for their new vehicles, and why you should always choose genuine Denso replacement parts.
I was just asking if you had that oxygen sensor.
Oh, my bad.
No worries. It's good talk.
Denso. The best part is peace of mind. One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system, pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Type 2 diabetes? Discover the Ozempic Trizone. I got the power of 3. I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
I'm under 7.
Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease.
I'm lowering my risk.
Adults lost up to 14 pounds.
I lost some weight.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
That's about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
The way the rest of the weekend looks, our coverage here. Qualifying continues 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday in FS1, and final round eliminations on your local Fox affiliate at 4 p.m. Eastern. Same place you watched us last week in Seattle. We will be here broadcasting from Sonoma. John Hall of Connecticut is all the way across the country wearing the Denso colors. He may be an underdog, but he has confidence.
John Hall, rider of the MSR Denso Pro Stock motorcycle.
John Hall, pencil him in the #1 spot.
My biggest competition probably be myself. Doing my job, hitting my shift points. If I do everything right, hopefully I get the result that we want, and I do a little better job than whoever calls me out.
John Hall's best run of the weekend.
I think I can expect some action-packed racing, some great personalities out here. When they get to know us, I think it'll make it even better for them to watch what we do.
And across the racetrack, Gianna Evaristo ran over 203 miles an hour in Seattle, Washington last week. She has seen Angie Smith advance. She has seen Matt Smith advance. Can they make it? Another one.
My name's Gianna Evaristo, and I race pro stock motorcycles for Scrappers Racing.
And she's going to win it. Gianna's bike was picking it up and putting it down.
For this year's call out, I would like to call out anybody that my team wants me to.
Look at this, Gianna Evaristo. It goes 200 miles an hour.
If I had to use one word to describe my driving style, it would be determined.
Tony, the two strengths of these riders match up on the starting line. Gianna is a very consistent and swift lever, and John Hall, we have seen him dial him up. Mike Salinas on the property, Monica Salinas on the property. It's great to see Mike back.
And that's where Gianna has to really be up for this matchup. It's John Hall that's very quick off of the starting line. Much cooler conditions than what they saw a week ago.
And the two bikes roar off the line. Both drivers have been lazy on the lights, but look at Gianna Evaristo beginning to distance herself from Hall. 6:67.4, 204.54 miles an hour. That is a new track speed record, and what is, I do believe, the second fastest run in the history of the category.
Gianna has really evolved into a good rider, and this is Matt Smith horsepower. You can see these are record-setting conditions, and Matt Smith has given her a tune-up and a bike. You can see that she's using all of her body English, everything that it takes, because there are subtle bumps. And look at the body English. That bike is wanting to go to the right. She's pointing it to the left, continues to accelerate. And you know what they say in racing? The quicker runs do not come easy, and she had to work for every bit of this run.
For Gianna Evaristo, that 204.54 matches to the 100th of a mile an hour, the fastest speed of the season, which was set by Gage as far as the event wins go. And it is Steve Johnson's 500th race in the pro stock motorcycle category. But first, let's actually talk to Steve Johnson, a man who has more legacy in the category than anyone.
My name is Steve Johnson. I ride an NHRA Pro Stock Suzuki.
Steve Johnson will be the first to claim victory.
For the call out, I'd like to call out somebody that I know I can beat, and it's my mom. But she's not in this event, so it could be anybody. But everybody knows I'd really like to beat any of the Smiths.
198 miles an hour and puts Stevie J in the #1 spot.
I've been taught and coached all about mental preparation, the motorcycle preparation, and definitely engine preparation. So when all those come together, we're going to be tough at the racetrack.
Hector Arana Jr. races with his dad, Hector Sr. They both have accomplished great things in this category. He wears the Getrex colors this weekend.
Hi, I'm Hector Arana Jr., rider of the Getrex Buell.
Hector Arana Jr. has reset the track record.
My strategy. I can't give away my strategy, then they'll know.
Hector Arana Jr. They are 100% back.
My driving style, in one word, it's fast.
And the rumbling V-twin engine of Hector Arana Jr. fills the air here on the right-hand side of the drag strip at Sonoma Raceway. And Steve Johnson, a man who had a multi-win season a couple of years back, is trying to find that plane of performance. Johnson is the type of racer that if you're a person that works out of your own shop, that builds your own engines, that does all your own work, that's what this guy has done. And I give him a lot of credit because he has not done this with the biggest budget over the last 500 races, but he's always shown up.
Yeah, both these teams have made all the adjustments that they can make. They ramp as much timing as they can. They've geared these bikes up for these conditions. There may be one last tuning adjustment when they see that the conditions are this good, the track's this good. They can increase the engine RPM right off the starting line. They'll get it up on the rev limiter. If they can increase that, whether it's 2 or 3 or 500 RPM, this bike will be much more aggressive off the starting line.
Oh, Arana made a move. Oh, you red lit. Hector Arana went red. Steve Johnson advances on the foul start of Hector Arana Jr. A 684 advances past a 672. Hide the time slip from him.
That's a tough way to go out, and you compound your problems, the disappointment for Hector Arana, when you know that you outperformed your opponent. But that foul start, just pulling the trigger just too early for Hector Arana. And this is something that when he is on, he can get you a nice starting line advantage. But there's many occasions that Hector has just jumped the gun, got off the starting line too early, and that is an automatic disqualification.
Let's ride with Hector. It was over at that moment, but look how smooth this ride is. The vibrations from that V-twin passing their way up. But as far as a pro stock motorcycle run, when you don't see the rider have to throw himself around like Spider-Man, he's on a nice clean pass. So as Arana makes the turnoff at the top end, Angie Smith is on the opposite emotional end of the spectrum. She is ecstatic and with Amanda.
Well, we won't ruin the next round of picks, but Angie said she knows pretty well who she's going to face in this next round of the call out. And what might you have for that bike that you know that it is?
We're just going to go out there and do the best we can. This Denso bike is set on mean. When Matt beat Gage, our whole team erupted, and that's what it's all about. When you have something big like that happen, it builds you up, and I had to go out there and do my job, and it's awesome to have not one, not two, but 3 bikes in the semifinals of the bike battle, and we are so excited, and thank you to everybody that helps us. We can't do it without you.
We talk about watershed moments in a season. We talk about the tides that occasionally shift in competitive sports. In this moment here with Matt Smith rolling around the corner, pumping his fist in victory, we may look back at this moment of the season and think that is when the tide began to change. The Denso bikes advance. The Getrex All-Star Pro Stock Motorcycle Callout continues. When we come back, Tony's already dancing. I might start by the time we return.
Ultimate hybrid, ultimate balance. Goes on fast, stays ceramic strong. Low tech easy, high tech results. Carnauba Heart, super hydrophobic sole. Foam blasting, beat boosting shine.
Meet Ultimate Hybrid, advanced ceramic and wax technology. The best of both worlds, but better. Only from Mothers.
For over 50 years, Purina Cat Chow has been helping cats feel at home with trusted nutrition. No wonder it's the #1 dry cat food in America. Come home to Cat Chow.
With Armor All, a little bit of this protects you from a lot of that. Armor All, less work, more clean.
All you have to do is just look into his eyes, and you know he's got it. The passion, the fearlessness, there's no doubt he's doing exactly what he's meant to be doing.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Now, during the Ram Make This the Summer event, get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on select 2024 Ram pickup trucks and vans in dealer stock. See your Ram dealer today.
BK's new fiery menu, 5 items, 5 levels, so you can do you. Level 1's like, level 5's a bit, woo. It's fiery at BK. Have it your way.
Guys, are you tired of frequent nighttime bathroom trips? Well, Force Factor Prostate helps reduce urges to urinate, plus fully empty your bladder and promote a normal prostate size. Don't settle. Rush to Walmart for Force Factor Prostate from the #1 fastest growing men's health brand in America.
In just 1 year, I had over $900 in banking fees, and I had enough. I realized just how much money I could save. That's when I found Chime, and I signed up immediately. There's no overdraft fees, no monthly fees, and over 60,000 fee-free ATMs. Just by banking with Chime, I'm saving hundreds of dollars a year, and I'm using that extra money for my daughter's future. For a normal guy like me, I've given myself a small raise. Join me at chime.com.
Back here at Sonoma, Matt Smith doing his best David Hasselhoff in the opening scene of Baywatch impersonation, running for Amanda Busick to get a stop-in interview. They're now getting ready to make their second-round picks, and that guy in the red fire suit, the red leathers, is going to be the first one to make them. Amanda, take it away.
I'm not sure if Matt Smith's heartbeat has come down since running to us after winning round here of the Getrix All-Star Callout in Pro Stock Motorcycle, but let's elevate that heart rate a little bit more. With low ET of that round, you get picked to the next round. I don't know how secret it will be, but who do you got, Matt?
Well, I'm going to let my two teammates run each other, Angie and Gianna, so we'll have a girl in the finals, and I'm going to pick Steve Johnson, so hopefully there'll be two Denso/Scrappers bike in the finals, and we'll see what happens, but we got to get past Steve first.
Well, as Matt Smith said, after Angie ran and Gianna ran, there will be a guaranteed Matt Smith racing bike into the final. And Steve, you'll face Matt Smith on a weekend that is your 500th race. That has to be on your side, right?
Our bike's a toad right now, but we do have a very, very special weekend, and we love being able to promote sticking with drag racing or whatever career that you want. So we're going to go back and work on a motorcycle, and hopefully we'll turn on one leg again.
Gianna, an incredible speed for you on that run. And you guys hug each other up here, but now the helmet goes back on for round 3. How does that change the situation?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't. I'm so excited to run Ange. There's definitely going to be no room for error on my end, so I think it's going to be a really fun race. And like you said, at the end of the day, there's for sure going to be an MSR Scrappers Racing bike in the final, so that's really exciting. I want to thank our sponsors, Denso. We have a lot of team people from Denso out here, Lisa from Denso, as well as Valley Services. We have a lot of team members here, so hopefully we can just put on a good race for them and maybe bring home a win for someone in our team. So.
And Angie, you're going to face the rider that now has the second fastest speed in Pro Stock Motorcycle of all time. What will you have the edge for?
She's a bad girl, and she has been like a sponge. She's took all this in, and now she's kicking my butt. So I guess I'm just the old of the group, but she's doing a great job. Our whole team's doing a great job, and I can't thank everybody. Everybody is here from Denso, all the people in the suite. Lisa's here. Just everybody that helps us, every single person that helps us. We couldn't do it without you, and it's going to be a good race for her because I'm going to bring my guns, and I know she's going to bring her guns, and so we're going to battle it out.
And we have Steve Bryson up here overseeing this trophy. Guys, we're getting closer and closer to that $25,000 payout for the winner of the Getrix All-Star Callout.
Steve Bryson, the president and CEO of Getrix, a great sponsor and a great supporter of the sport of drag racing. He's as into this as the rest of us, and you can see those matchups there. It will be Smith and Johnson, and it will be Smith and Evaristo, and it could end up being a husband and wife final round. We'll see if that happens. When we come back, we'll continue drag racing motorcycles at over 200 miles an hour here in Northern California, and the excitement level has never been higher. It's the Getrix Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout.
Okay, ideas. Where are we going?
I got one.
I got one.
Do you want to
What about a comedy show?
I've seen you. I've swiped on you. No.
Oh, I got an idea.
I feel hungry.
Let's go.
Whatever your vibe,
Tacos.
Definitely tacos.
find it in the all-new, all-hybrid Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
And there goes NHRA, the high-winding four-cylinder Suzuki motorcycle of Vance and Hines.
High revving Hayabusa really starts to pour on the coals.
Quickest run in the history of pro stock motorcycles.
Some have a drive to seek the outer limits, to ride the edge, testing themselves against the odds and the competition. To put life on the line, to go 330 miles per hour while pushing 11,000 horsepower for more. Some may call them rebels. We call them NHRA drag racers. Get your tickets to the fastest motorsport in the world today. Meet us at Brainerd August 15th through 18th, Indianapolis August 28th through September 2nd, and Reading September 12th through 15th. Buy your tickets early at NHRA.com.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis held me back. Now with Skyrizi, I'm all in with clearer skin. Things are getting clearer. I feel free to bare my skin, yeah, that's all me. Nothing is everything. Whoa. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months, and most people were clearer even at 5 years. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
I love my kids, but I also love not being broke. So this back-to-school season, I'm just gonna spend less on them. Amazon has low prices on everything kids need. Like a water bottle they definitely won't lose. Tablets, sports stuff, for whatever sport this is. All the latest, lit, Rizzy Riz clothes. And lunch boxes for a homemade meal that they'll barely touch. What? So spend less on your little freeloaders with Amazon.
You're watching a Fox Sports presentation. Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in our program.
Challenge for Gianna, as well for the tuner Matt Smith, is going to be how well will they be able to adjust. The track temperature has increased, not by a lot, but close to 12 degrees. That's going to take some of the grip away. And as we know from the earlier run to now, you have direct sun, so you have UV, you have a few things you have to factor in. It's all about the adjustments.
You can see that glimmering metal flake style paint job on Angie's bike in the sun here in Sonoma. The clouds we had this morning have burned off. That marine layer is gone. The Denso outboard camera here for Angie Smith. Matt Smith in his own helmet and leathers making the final touches on Gianna's motorcycle, and a slap on the back of encouragement. Both riders leave. It is a 2000s advantage on the starting line, but Gianna Salina seems to be riding away from Angie Smith. A 671.1. She goes even quicker. 203.37 miles an hour. 679.6 at 201.58. So a great run here for Gianna Evaristo. She moves on.
Oh, great strategy. You know, the sun's on the track, but it's only 69 degrees. This is the peak temperature that we're going to see today. You can see that front tire just getting up. The bike is still accelerating, and they slowed it down. They played it safe, but they're still aggressive, and they still make a good read on the racetrack. And you can see that Gianna, she is just pinpoint. You know, that run that she made earlier, you go back a year and a half ago, she would not have been able to handle that horsepower. So she has really evolved and able to handle the kind of torque and power that Matt Smith is providing for her.
And the speeds this weekend for her have been big. Obviously the 204 mile an hour shot, and now the run of 203 miles an hour. So it is very impressive to watch this motorcycle and the horsepower it is producing. Steve Johnson and Matt Smith, This is a bit of a dream scenario for Matt Smith. He wanted a piece of Gage, and he got it. He told us early this week at a press conference that he was going to pick Steve Johnson, and now he has him.
This is what you have to love about Matt Smith. He walks the walk, he talks the talk, but most of all, he backs it up. And this is what you get from a Matt Smith that just takes the filter off sometimes.
And for Steve Johnson, he is a man who has worked so hard for over 30 years in the world of pro stock motorcycle drag racing, and he is an underdog of significant size if we talk about their performance over the course of their careers, 24-14 head-to-head. 38 victories for his multi-time championship career of Matt Smith, 12 victories for Steve Johnson, who calls Birmingham, Alabama home and has for so many years. Smith of King, North Carolina, the son of Ricky Smith, one of the great door slammer drag racers of all time, man who won our last pro modified race on tour and who's certainly watching coverage here today. Steve Johnson rolls his motorcycle backwards. As we talked about in the first round, Johnson is a ham and egger, if you want to call it that, in racing. He is a guy who literally has a cot in his shop and will sleep in it many nights of the week during the season when he's doing all of his service. But what Matt Smith has built for himself in Matt Smith Racing, he has CNC machines, he has dynos. This is a guy who is a one-man kind of wrecking crew in this class.
Well, all the work that they put in, it's around the clock. He knows what he has to compete with, and right now it's the Tim Kalungian team that's really starting to show signs of finding performance with Chase Van Zant's victory just a week ago, and of course Vance and Hines are the dominant team. So that's what Matt, as well as Steve Johnson, have to compete with. So they have to put a lot of time into their trades.
And look, if I am Steve Johnson in this moment, and this guy has already admitted that he is annoyed with me, I'm taking that all the way to the end zone. I'm being a little slow with my burnout. I might be a little slow staging. I might dive in because, frankly, Steve needs to do something, because if they both leave at the same time, the math says he is not getting there first.
Yeah, and Steve has been in this situation many times before, and he knows he's not going to get it all in one place. You're not going to get a big enough starting line advantage to outrun him, to get to the finish line ahead, even if he's trying to track you down. So I think the strategy for Steve Johnson has to be get some performance off of the starting line. Hope you catch him flat-footed. It's not likely, but you have to get him off the tree, and you have to find some performance. And for Steve Johnson, he doesn't need a little bit. He needs a lot.
You know, grudge racing kind of style format, a little throwback with the call-out style. Steve maybe could have negotiated the back tire and the wiggle and have Matt chase him, but that is not the case. 33-61. That's 300's advantage for Steve Johnson, but it is not going to be enough as Matt Smith goes 669.8 at 204.39 miles an hour. He is out there just throwing haymakers. Steve Johnson eliminated running 688. Gianna Evaristo is with Amanda Busick at the top end.
Well, they say to be the best, you have to beat the best. What can you use against your boss that you might know about him that we don't?
Oh, man, you know, this is just a crazy weekend, crazy progress. But, you know, I'm just going to do what I've been always doing, just going up there, racing my race, not really focusing who's in the other lane. I mean, Matt's got this bike tuned really great. You know, he knows what it's going to run. But I don't know, maybe I have something in store for him, something a little special. So, we will see. You know, I can't thank Steve Rice from Get Tricks for putting this on. This is amazing, super fun. Denzo, of course, everybody's out here. We have a lot of team members from Valley Services as well, are also a big sponsor. And, you know, at the end of the day, we wanted 2 MSR bikes, Scrappers Racing bikes as well, in the finals, and that's what we're getting. So thank you, appreciate it.
If you're a child of the 80s like me, George Papard of the A-Team, he would always look into the camera and say, I love it when a plan comes together. And for these two riders, a plan has definitely come together. Gianna and Matt Smith will battle in the final when we come back.
The ARCA Menard Series returns to Salem Speedway in southern Indiana. It's the high-banked half-mile oval for the Spectracide 200. Top of the hour right here on FS1.
With Armor All, a little bit of this protects you from a lot of that.
Armor All. Less work, more clean.
Can a personal loan unlock your ambitions? Oh, yeah. Consolidate bad debt and save money for your next goal. SoFi Personal Loans, low fixed rates, borrow up to $100K, no fees required.
In racing and in business, teamwork and winning go hand in hand. Because we believe that when your business thrives, we've done our jobs. As the fastest name in credit card processing, we help businesses like yours leave their competition in the dust. And with our industry-leading speed and efficiency, you'll always finish first. Join the winning team with Getrex. Getrex, the official credit card processor of the NHRA. Learn more at getrex.com/win.
Get ready to play NHRA. Play NHRA is a campaign bringing fantasy, gaming, and betting to NHRA drag racing. Scan the flow code to see options available in your state. Sign up for an account and earn bonus bets to use towards NHRA fantasy gaming and betting. Get started at the official portal for NHRA betting. Play NHRA. 21 plus. Please refer to affiliated operators' terms and conditions. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Motorcycle accidents happen fast. That's why motorcycle airbags have gyroscopes that check for a crash 1,000 times a second and can inflate before the rider ever makes contact. Learn how airbags save at revzilla.com/airbags.
Over 1 million motorcyclists trust Revzilla for their online shopping experience. Gear tested by expert riders who can help you find the perfect product for every kind of ride. Visit revzilla.com.
The Getrex NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout is sponsored by Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty. It's time for the final round, Tony. We got sun's out. We got a warmest racetrack we've had all day. Wind has come up just a little bit. In our final round matchup, we'll pit Matt Smith against Gianna Evaristo. Home racetrack. Her parents are here and many employees from, whether it is the Pleasanton Ready Mix Company, whether it is Valley Services, so many folks here. And for Matt Smith, it is an opportunity for him to get back into any sort of winner's circle this year, and he has been waiting for it.
Occasionally, you'll get a rider or a driver that'll sneak through competition. They'll catch a break. That's not the case. These are the best two bikes that we've seen in competition. And right now, Gianna Evaristo, she has to be thinking that I'm within 2 to 3 hundredths of beating my tuner, my teammate on the racetrack, but she has as good a machine as she has ever had.
Let's talk about the Ram Road to the Final presented by Ram Trucks as we take a look at how the riders, Matt Smith specifically, made his way into this Getrex Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout Final. It started and, well, it didn't end here. It started with a big win over Gage Herrera.
Well, Gage is the one that picked the fight. He called out Matt Smith, and, well, he didn't realize it. He was calling on the thunder.
And he got it. So Smith with a 666 outran Gage's 668. It was very tight at the finish because Gage had a 2/100ths advantage on the lead. Then in the semifinals, it was Smith and Steve Johnson, and Smith just leveled Johnson with a very, very strong run. Steve did lead first by 300ths, give or take, but Matt had the more powerful motorcycle, and that brings us to this moment here with Gianna Evaristo and Matt Smith on the starting line. The handshakes and high fives just a short time ago replaced now with that calm concentration that comes from being a pro-level competitor here in the NHRA. The comments here today, the discussion has been just how far Gianna Evaristo has come over her riding career. A moment she has earned with big performance and perfect form. Matt's out by 100th. The front end of Gianna's bike up at about the 8th mile. A great drag race to the finish line. It's Matt Smith, a 665.5 at 204.23 miles an hour. Evaristo, a 6703 at 203 in the loss. He was just a skosh quicker off the starting line through 60 feet, and he carried it with him.
I didn't realize he could go any quicker than he did against Gage Herrera. The track temperature is warmed up, and here is Matt Smith running quicker than his first round performance by 100th of a second.
Let's go and talk to the record holder and the winner, Matt Smith.
Matt Smith earning a lot of attention up here at the top end today. Also the #1 qualifier in pro stock motorcycle, but you know those competitors will be coming for you tomorrow. What do you think the rest of the field has learned this weekend that they'll attack you with?
Don't count this old guy out. You know, they say the youth's coming in. That's great, but you can't count this old guy out yet. I can still do it. I can still win races, win rounds, and we showed them today. This Denso, Outlaw Beer, Smith Trucking, Greg Butch Trucking, IGTG, Max ECU, everybody helps us. Really appreciate it. Thank y'all.
So Matt Smith has triumphed here on this beautiful Saturday at Sonoma Raceway. The Gettrex Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout, the third of 4 callouts this year. The next one coming at the U.S. Nationals. Our coverage continues 2 p.m. Eastern on FS1, and tune in on Fox Sunday to watch the final rounds of eliminations here this weekend. Thanks for watching.
In racing and in business, teamwork and winning go hand in hand. Because we believe that when your business thrives, we've done our jobs. As the fastest name in credit card processing, we help businesses like yours leave their competition in the dust. And with our industry-leading speed and efficiency, you'll always finish first. Join the winning team with Gettrex. Gettrex, the official credit card processor of the NHRA. Learn more at Gettrex.com/win.
Type 2 diabetes?
Discover the Ozempic